Okay, recording.
Oh,
Hey everyone, it's Rye, and
Lish.
that took you too long to answer, Liz. So today we'll be talking to about Invincible, and let's get right into it.
Yeah.
All right,
You start.
all right. So Liz, what were your thoughts about the series itself?
Mm, well, I did say you should start, but whatever. It is unlike anything I've ever read, literally.
Yeah. Um, I see. I kind of understand what you're saying. Like anything you've ever read, it's not like any comic book. It's more like a story, a singular story with pieces that branch off. It's not like a traditional comic book where they have big storylines and it never ends. It's actually been said by the creator that it will end, and that kind of makes me sad because I've grown to love this series.
But it also should make you happy because it won't get like that perpetual loop of stories.
Yeah, I know. Like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm kind of going after DC here.
Yeah, the bias is pretty obvious.
Yeah, but like, what are your thoughts about it? Like, the meat of the story. Like, we know traditional storyline: alien comes to Earth to salvage it from its own destruction.
Yeah, except it comes with a catch. So it's like the story starts off like super normal. Like you wouldn't really expect it to like be grandiose in the first issue, but it comes off like a pretty simple story. Regular teenager, dad has superpowers, family's cool with it. He gets superpowers, you're like, oh, it's gonna be like a buddy cop film, except a comic book. But
Yeah,
no, it gets so hardcore so fast.
yeah. I think it's actually. What is the rating for it? Is it R rated?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of blood and gore in this series. I don't want to go into detail with. Well, we are gonna go into detail with arcs, so spoilers. But there are scenes where there's nudity, there's uh, yeah,
Disembowelment.
disembowelment, beheadings. It's very, very, very mature.
Yeah, and penetration of various kinds.
Yes, a lot of penetration.
I mean, some of the characters just, their hands just go straight through bodies like paper. It's pretty funny though.
All right, so the alien race is the Verchiliumites, right?
Viltrumites.
Viltrumites, yes. Viltrumites. And basically, the type of race they are is the Superman esque race. Standard superpowers, except for heat vision, super strength, invulnerability, flight, but, and a very long life. But they aren't like the Kryptonians. I mean, this doesn't take place in DC. It takes place in Image Comics universe. I actually don't know what it's called. I don't read a lot of Image Comics, but but the way how it's set up is Superman esque. Um,
You
Mark,
know, typical.
which yeah, Mark, which is the son of Omni Man, the one the one Viltrumite who came to Earth to save it, quote unquote, save or protect. What are your thoughts on how he protected it, Liz?
I'm all for it. Just like a lot of other characters that come in the series, Omni-Man is a being of logic. And when you read the story, it sort of brings you to question, is emotion really that valuable? of a resource when logic is the solution to all problems. And he displays logic to the extreme, to the most extreme of cases. Like, he
Yeah,
does not pull his punches.
yeah. It's well, you could see that in most Viltrumites, except for the half breeds, like Mark. Emotion is everything to him, and Viltrumites, the Viltrumites, the purebloods, they can be changed. They can learn to adapt, but they will still have that raw instinct of just what must go on for something to happen, and they are willing to do that. That's actually what I like about it. Superman is like Mark is like Superman, extremely powerful, but his emotions get in the way of what he has to do. Sometimes they help, but sometimes they hinder his success.
A lot of the time.
Yeah, like what we see now in the ending, because it's close to an end. The series is actually close to an end. What we see now in the ending is that Mark has given up. His emotion is there, but it's not there for his opponents. He's gone on and slaughtered hundreds
He
of
gets
half
the job
breeds.
done.
Yeah, he says he's not playing anymore, and he does it. And I actually like to see the mental change in these characters, like Omni Man, um, Invincible, which is Mark, and even side characters like Bulletproof, Robot, Rex. Um, what's Mark's girlfriend name again? I do
That's
not.
what me.
Atom Eve, yeah, Evie. I like to see the changes in their mental state and their personality. I mean, mental is the personality, but their thought process changes. Like Rex, he goes through the biggest change of them all. Like I remember this is a really good arc, the arc where they show where Rex and Monster Girl went when they went to the portal. It was
Hmm.
actually extremely great. But enough about me talking. What about you, Liz?
uh, yeah, the character development in Invincible is pretty well executed because we have like one single author. The name of the author of Invincible is, you know, Royland, probably. Um, Justin Royal. No, I don't know if it's Justin Roiland. I feel like that's the guy who does Rick and Morty. But it's because like since we have one solid single writer on Invincible for the entire run, all the characters stay like in the same personality spectrum. They don't shift from one extreme to the other. They're like
It's a,
they stay the same people. Their
but it's a
souls don't
slow
change.
change. Like it's more like it's not really a change meant. I mean, yes, it's a change mentally because they have to be
It's
prepared to
character
make. Yeah,
development.
but it's more like a slow change in their
In who they are.
morality, in their morality.
Yeah, like we see this most prominently in Mark,
Yeah,
and
and
we also
Rex
especially
and
Rex,
Rex. Yeah,
because Rex
a
he
very
starts out as
decent
a guy you
guy.
wouldn't want to hang out with.
Yeah, I mean, well, readers, our watchers kind of get confused because we're calling Robot Rex, but later on in the series, Robot takes up the name Rex. So, yeah. So we'll continue calling him Robot for now. But Robot gets he gets a personality his morality. Is it morality though, Liz?
Yeah, morality.
Yeah, his morality changes. Like he becomes not cruel but more logical, like a pure blood for virtual vert. How do
Like a
you say?
pure-blooded Viltrumite.
Yeah, Viltrumite, a pure-blooded Viltrumite. And since we're talking about Viltrumites and their go do it attitude, let's talk about Thrag.
Yeah. Drag is the big bad of the series in some ways. But the thing about the series is that it doesn't really have a central big bad guy. But if we had to pick, it would probably be Thrag
Thrag.
or Robot. Um,
Yeah.
so like Thrag is like the most powerful Viltrumite, like
Yes.
arguably.
No, he is. It's not arguably. He is.
Well, yeah, I just want to make it sound dramatic because, Deus Ex Machinas are a thing. Um, so I'm going to do a truck impersonation right now and pretend I'm a truck.
Yeah, I can hear that on your side.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to edit that out.
Or leave it in.
Yeah, why not? So Drag is the most powerful Viltrumite. Okay, he's basically Superman without heat vision. Everything Supes can do, he can do. He,
Well, well. He's better
okay,
than
dude,
Superman.
no arguments, okay? So, like, he is like logic incarnate. He weighs the options out. He says, the healthiest thing for my people is to go to Earth and not have, and just have them integrate, build up an army, knock up some people who really
Mm-hmm.
cares, and get the population up. I don't know why he doesn't do this sooner, but whatever.
Yeah.
And he he doesn't really get much depth. I mean, there's like one scene in the comic, in the entire series, where he looks like he's about to kill someone that you could think is very close to him, but he doesn't. But that's about the only development he gets. He still
Hold up.
stays the same.
I have to argue with that because he does get some slow mental development because it shows that yes, he's a true Viltrumite in the way that
Viltrumite.
yes, I said it right, Viltrumite. It shows that he's a true Viltrumite in the way that he well what he is the what's the word regiment
Regent.
yeah, he's the Viltrumite regent. He was chosen from birth and trained till he was trained to be the perfect Viltrumite. So at that age, he thought, at his age, he's very old actually. He looks really young because because of his power. He ages less than most Viltrumites, but um, he's very straightforward in what he wants to do. He wants to save the Viltrumites. He wants to rebuild them, and he doesn't want to rebuild them with any weakness. Even with his own children in the ending of the series, they were willing to sacrifice themselves in to more powerful beings because of Thrag. They wanted to even for him to even notice them. They would kill themselves.
But
And huh?
sadly,
Yeah.
sadly, he just. It's like they're his kohai, and they're like, notice me, senpai. Senpai does not notice them.
Yeah. But the thing is with Thrag though, he does show some like when he finds out that Omni Man is the true ruler of the Viltrumites, he tries to hide it. He tries to have Mark killed. He tries to kill Mark himself, but Mark is obviously saved.
By
Comic,
Devil Dinosaur.
yeah, we'll get into him later on,
No, that's
but
not Devil Dinosaur. That would be
yeah,
Dinosaurus.
yeah,
Dinosaurus.
dinosaurs, yeah, we'll get into him later, but as like he shows that he knows he's the one to lead the Viltrumites into a new age, and he wants to. This is something he wants. It's not his appointed duty. He doesn't see it as his appointed duty anymore. He sees it as something he needs to have himself whole. And that's why I think he's shown growth.
Yeah. I guess from that point of view, he has shown some growth. Because
Hmm.
now he doesn't regard Viltrumite life as anything special anymore. Because he wantonly just kills a bunch of them in the final war that they're experiencing.
Yeah, he the thing that I get about that now is that he does treat Viltrumite life with some respect, but he thinks of the weak Viltrumites as insects. They're no lower than nothing.
Yes.
Even no,
Uh,
I don't even think it's Viltrumites because remember his fight with Battle Beast, and Battle Beast is a character so powerful. I think he was blessed by the gods or something that he could never die from like old age, but he has lived for thousands and thousands of years. He's almost as old as Thrag, or even older than some Viltrumites, and him and Thrag fight, and Thrag had to show respect to him because Battle Beast was so powerful. Their battle lasted days, weeks, even. It almost they moved around a planet like in seconds, continents. They were everywhere. And that's I think Thrag has more respect for strength than he does for Viltrumites. I think
yeah,
that's what
he's
yeah.
more of a survival of the fittest kind of guy, as opposed to survival of the group.
Mhm.
Like he values the individual over the group. So
Yeah.
if you're strong, you're on his side. If you're weak, then you're not gonna live to be on anyone else's side.
Yeah. And let's move from Thrag now to someone who is kind of complicated, like Devil Dinosaur. I mean, Dinosaurus.
Dinosaurus. Yeah, Dinosaurus is another. He's another villain. He
Well,
is a
not a villain.
dinosaur. Dude, he is a villain.
I mean, he's terrible in the way that he does his things, but he's actually thinking. He's like Rex and Thrag had a baby. He's like a
Oh,
robot and Thrag had a baby.
don't ask how that would work, but whatever. Uh, yeah, he's the ultimate being of lot. Like, not
Logic.
ultimate, but he's pretty high up there in terms of like his logical thinking because
Hmm.
he's like a guy who wants to do good in the worst way possible, but the worst way is the
Is the
most
yeah.
efficient.
He sees
So
things he sees things as like not how he literally sees them, but this is how I think he sees them is that he sees it as this
the
needs to
trolley,
be done. I can do it the long way, which will waste energy, or I could do it the short way, which is no risk to me and it's way faster.
or the trolley problem, in which, like, you know, the trolley problem where people are like, if you see a person on a train track and you have the ability to switch the lever, would you switch the lever so the person doesn't get hit by the train? Yeah, except it's like he sees one person and five people. Five people are about to get hit by the trolley or train, and but instead of like leaving it to not interfere in the death of those five people, Dinosaurus will rather kill one person to save five without
Yeah.
hesitation.
Or kill
You know what I mean?
thousands to save millions.
Yes, or kill millions to save billions.
Yeah.
Because that's not even an exaggeration.
He has killed billions. No,
He's
millions actually.
millions, millions. Yeah. He is basically the worst of what human. He's like he represents humankind without the kindness.
No,
He
but he
represents
is kind.
humanity
He
without
is
emotion.
kind.
No,
It's not
not
that
like
he
that.
isn't
No,
kind,
that
but
was supposed to
his
be a joke.
yeah,
Gets it? Kindness.
yeah. But it's not that he isn't kind. It's that his kindness transcends time, as in he wants Earth to be around. He doesn't want us to die from our own
So
mistakes.
self-destructive nature.
Yeah. He wants us to be around.
And he figures the best way to do that is to, call the weak, call
Hmm.
those who don't like contribute to society.
Yeah.
It would be as if you go in a school and it's like you say, okay, all of you with a grade point average of, well, screw that, all of you with an average of 80%, you all get to live. All of you with an average below 80%, with the population doesn't need you, so you're gonna have to go somewhere else. That's how. So after Dinosaurus, let us get into side characters.
Well, I didn't really watch a lot about the side characters. I mean, read a lot, but like, let's get into one of the most unappreciated. Well, I wouldn't say unappreciated, but I feel like he wasn't appreciated. Bulletproof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into Bulletproof, like in proper, I just have to say his girlfriend was pretty. She was pretty psycho. Yeah, that's about it.
His
Okay.
parents were psycho.
His parents were psycho. He is
Yeah.
tragic. He's a
He
tragic.
is. His family is just messed up.
Yeah, like this is Bulletproof story. I'm not gonna give away the entire thing, but Bulletproof is a black guy, and he's a black guy who does the right things. He does the right thing in the right way, in the best way possible. Except there comes a time where in his life, before he gets his powers of being bulletproof, well, literally and figuratively, he's minor invulnerable to stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like this. He has a twin brother, and let's say bad things happen, he gets his power, and he gets the love that his brother got from his parents, but the love his parents never gave him for who he was. And the thing that happens is his character experiences severe trauma in the fact that unfortunate events lead to his parents' death, and he's the one responsible for that in more than one way. And he dies knowing his parents hate him. I mean, he doesn't die. His parents die, and the last memory he has of them is them hating him and being in disgust of him and what he does. He, I don't want to get into spoilers or any more spoilers, but he's definitely a character you're going to enjoy reading if you want to know just how realistic this comic book is
Yeah.
to the real world.
And it really is realistic. I mean, aside from all the powers, but like the way how humans act and they feel the world feels alive. It's
It doesn't feel two-dimensional.
yeah.
Like you're reading Batman, and it's like you go around Arkham City, not Arkham, Gotham City, with Batman being your driver. You're like, oh, look at those pretty buildings. Oh, we're beating up more bad guys. In Invincible, it's that you are in the drive. You're like Invincible is the driver, and he's taking you around the world, and you're experiencing how other people see him. We're experiencing how the press sees him.
Hmm.
Everybody, every human being has their own opinion. They're not two-dimensional cutouts.
Yeah. And the fact that it shows like his decisions have lasting effects on the planet
Like in the case of when he teams up with a
with
certain
dinosaur.
reptilian person,
Yeah.
and it doesn't turn out in the best way. He tries to do the right thing, but the right thing comes at a pretty bad cost. Well,
Yeah.
I'll just say that. Yeah,
He,
and
he
hmm?
you go, you go.
Oh yeah. So next we'll be talking about, like, we're not gonna be talking about like the main side characters like Atom Eve
Yeah.
or Monster Girl. Like they're not, they don't really merit us talking about them because when you read the story, you're gonna know about them anyways.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to Rex or Robot. We don't need
Eh.
to talk about Rex.
Now let's talk about Rex.
My goodness.
Wait, no,
Uh,
robot. Yeah, robot.
yeah, Robot. Yeah, robot. He starts out as a robot and then he becomes a
Human.
not robot. If you want to call him that, sure.
Clone, maybe?
Yeah, that's closer to reality. Okay, so robot is he is literally everything that okay, robot is a person without being a person
Yeah.
in the sense that he is the manifestation of the worst of the best of humanity, if that makes any sense.
He's more
Okay.
like he's more like a Viltrumite than a human, but not in the sense that he wants power, in the sense that he wants to protect people.
But he goes about. That's the thing with the series Invincible. A lot of people want to do the right things, but they do them in
In the
ways that
wrong
we would
way.
find unethical.
Yeah.
Like, if you put yourself in the shoes of any of the characters, you cannot, no matter how hard you try, you can't disagree with the things that they do. Because if you were in their position, you would do the same things.
Even like most of the villains. Like, even, this is why I like Invincible as a comic, like, so well, more than other comics. They don't get to show the side characters as much. Like, when Invincible, when Invincible, I don't remember which issue it was, but he was fighting a man, an inventor who invented these gravity gauntlets and boots. And Invincible pushed him to the right track to even getting him a job with the government. He changed his whole life, his outview on everything. And that's what I like.
Yeah, the characters experience actual growth. As I said before, the writer, he doesn't change, and you slowly get to see what an author can do if he's given enough time, and that's what you get with Invincible. Just imagine that one of my favorite writers, Straczynski, yeah, if Straczynski had the entire run of Thor and Thor was gonna be like less than 200 issues, I would imagine Thor to be like one of the best comic books ever written.
Yeah.
If he had the freedom to do that with Thor for 200 issues. Cough, Dan Slott, Spider-Man. They're gonna let Dan Slott run Spider-Man until he's dead.
Oh man, that's sad to hear. But let's sidetrack a little from Rex and the comic itself and the story to the art of the comic.
Yeah, the
And
art, it starts out like slow, like you'd expect that, but as you read each issue, you can slowly see the
it
art
gets
changing
better.
right in front of you.
And that's
Like
what I like.
it's yeah, it's so smoothly changed, like it just flows so well. Don't even notice the art's changed unless you
Yeah.
deliberately like look out for it.
Where you go back for a second read. But the fact that it's not only the art that changes, the story gets better as you go on. The art gets better, the story gets better. The I forgot the name of the artist for this actual comic. Do you remember his name?
Okay, okay, I know his name, okay? I'm not typing it in Google as we speak. I swear.
I'm not looking
Okay.
it up on Google either.
Okay. His name, from my very astute memory, is Rob Corey Walker,
Wow.
and the writer is Ryan Otley. No, no, the he is Ryan Otley. The artist is Ryan Otley.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. All
and the
right.
writer is Robert Kirkman. So I guess that Justin Roiland was from Gravity Falls,
I guess we made a mistake.
but we will just hide that. Just forget about it.
Mm,
Yeah, I guess that after we talk about like there's not really much else to say about the art. It's like pretty awesome.
Well, later on in the series, it does change for a little, but you'll get used to the change.
Yeah, but it just goes back to normal right away. It's only for like issues. I think the artist was on break.
Yeah, but it does still look good.
Yeah, well, art is subjective. Just saying.
And who is an
Um,
artist?
that would make one of us, and
Hmm,
that person is not me.
am I right?
Or are you right? Uh, yeah, I guess the next thing to go into would have to probably be consequences.
Consequences,
For
we all
anyone
have
who
to face them.
watches, for anyone who watches Key and Peele and the comedy skit with the crackhead who's like doing a speech in front of the school or like a talk, and he's like consequences, like you just imagine that guy saying consequences every issue you read Invincible. Because
Yeah,
everything has consequences. Like,
everything.
for example, um, you have action A happen, then action B happens. You're like, oh, I did action A, action B resulted in something good. Next thing you know, 50 issues later, action B leads into action C, which causes extinction.
You can't even kill a butterfly without something bad happening.
You can't kill anyone without something bad happening. Like when you're reading Invincible and someone dies, I don't wanna like I'm just it's not even a spoiler. They actually
Die.
die.
Yeah.
They stay that way. I was reading Invincible the entire time. I was thinking, wait, when is this character gonna come back? When are they gonna resurrect this character? It never happens. If you
It
die
doesn't.
in Invincible, you die.
Well,
You stay there.
not
No
for
dragon
the
flows.
immortal.
Oh, well, except the immortal, of course. But come
Yeah.
on, it's in its name, immortal. Yeah. The like everything. Like, remember Invincible teaming up with a certain reptilian overlord?
Yeah.
Yeah, that had consequences that he had to live with. When
For the
Invincible fought
rest.
with his dad the first time, that had consequences and actually made one of his most troublesome villains, the electric guy. I don't remember his name. he
Yeah.
he has to go through a lot. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every good deed he does, a bad one happens. It has to balance out. That's the kind of story this is.
Well, not everything has to balance out. We haven't seen the effects of the new Viltrumites half breeds, but I guess that'll come soon. I
No,
mean,
but
this.
the Viltrumite half breeds with what's his name with Thrag, they're like pretty weak, like very weak. Like they
The,
break themselves punching kids and Mark.
I mean, but they're stronger than they're stronger than Mark was when he was at his age, at their age.
Uh, Mm, no, they mature faster. So, of course,
I
yeah.
mean,
Uh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I guess the most important thing that we have to say about the Viltrumites is their sweet, sweet mustaches.
yeah. I wish I had a stash
If
like
you're a
that.
Viltrumite, right, you have the best mustache in the world. I'm telling you. Okay. Like, if you're on a planet and everyone has a beard or a mustache and you're a Viltrumite, you automatically have the best mustache.
Yeah, you're king.
Facts. Yeah. Like the longer your mustache, the more powerful you are.
Hmm. The
So,
less gray hair you have, the more power you have.
yeah. No, dude, that's not true. Dude, let us not like go too much into this, but let's talk about conquest.
Oh, yes. Your favorite
Conquest,
character?
my favorite character. No, he's not my favorite character. My favorite character in Invincible is, yeah. Wait, who is my favorite character? Yeah, like by default, it would probably be Conquest. Yeah, let's just go with that. Conquest is my favorite character.
Eh,
Um, Yeah. Conquest, he, like what you said about the less gray hair you have, the stronger you are. Conquest flips that on his head, then breaks its head, cracks its neck, throws it in a
And
gutter, and burns it.
you've got to remember, Conquest was he could have been stronger. He would have been.
If he, insert spoiler warning here, spoiler, didn't lose his arm, spoiler ended, yeah,
Didn't
he would have been a
spoiler
lot.
again, and did not get infected with that disease.
Oh, yeah, that too. Oh, geez. Like, Conquest is like. He could beat Superman in a fight if Superman never had heat vision, I
Yeah,
guess. Like, if we're talking about New 52 Superman, Conquest could probably beat him.
Conquest would demolish him.
Like, Conquest is just. If you ever imagine an old anime guy who has like a sweet beard, that's Conquest. Except Conquest has a mustache, and he is like. Conquest is the guy in the bar you don't want to walk up to
He
if the girl you're eyeballing is 20 feet away from him. Okay? He's just that intimidating.
Heck, if he's in the bar, you shouldn't be in there.
You shouldn't be in the same country as him.
Countries
That's
don't even
weird
matter
always
to
think.
him.
Yeah, he wrecks. I mean, he pushes Mark to his limits. He
He
pushes
pushed.
every is the he is the worst of what a Viltrumite could be in terms of like their pure
Mental
raw.
state.
Yes. Like
Well,
if a Viltrumite like Thrag went depraved and like lost his intelligence or tact, he would turn into Conquest. That is who Conquest is.
well, it's funny you say that because the thing I like about Conquest is his pure ferocity. He he's not like other Viltrumites who do this for the honor, do this for that. He does it for the fun of it. He likes killing and he likes torture.
He loves torture. In fact, it's actually some Viltrumites have a gene that makes them like torture. Like that because it's so shown that one of Thrag's sons, without being taught by Thrag himself, actually secluded himself in a cave and disemboweled various animals on the planet for fun.
No, that's just called being a psychopath. No, a
No, but
sociopath.
it's even stated by some other build by some I think it was Anissa or something. I think she also said that it's just something Viltrumites like to do sometimes. They just like to torture, and
But
they
he
are a cruel race.
Thrag takes it to the next level.
Yeah. But we haven't even spoken about like this is probably gonna be the last thing we talk about. That would be the entire reason of why the Viltrumites are even going to Earth.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
Viltrumites are a race of people who've existed for a very long time. Super advanced technology, although it sort of makes you question why they get found and some other stuff like that, but whatever. Super advanced technology, they're super intelligent and super fast and all that good stuff. Um, the thing is, you look at them and you're like, these people seem like they're jerks, but they go around the universe
to
and they go
unify.
to certain planets, and any planet that's like goes under their like who thinks of them as a good force, not really necessarily, but send an agent to the planet. The agent is a pureblood. The pureblood displays what one of their race is capable of. The planet either accepts them or rejects them. If the planet rejects them, then they destroy the planet
Take
single-handedly.
over by force.
Yeah, it's a hostile takeover.
Hmm.
But if they accept, then they share their technology and knowledge with that planet, just making
And
sure it doesn't get too powerful. But in return, they slowly sap away at the natural resources of that planet until it
yep.
dies. So
Well,
the question becomes,
well, not until it dies, because if every planet dies that they take over, they wouldn't have as much resources. It's more like a slave and master situation. the planet gets to a point where it cannot sustain itself. It can sustain enough food for the Viltrumite, like enough resources for the Viltrumites and itself, but the Viltrumites control that chain.
Yeah. They're basically not terraforming the planet. They're bestowing give like it's sort of hard to like. I'm just thinking if it happened to Earth, because Earth goes through so much chaos and turmoil and stuff by its own people, that if the Viltrumites were to like take over Earth, what would be the harm in that? They wouldn't kill anyone. They
But
wouldn't.
but that's not the reason they went to Earth though.
But just one more thing, like if they went to Earth, then it's like Earth is going to get destroyed anyways. It's going to run out of natural resources. Like even in our actual Earth, we're running out of resources. So if they came and they gave us technology, it would be the wisest thing to accept it
Yeah.
because it would be on the inevitable.
But if you really look at it, there are big players that we've mentioned today who've went to go and fix those problems that Earth has.
Oh, yeah. They fix them in their worst way. Like if you want to fix a problem in Invincible, then you have to at least murder 10 people.
10, try 10 million.
That's a minimum. Because if you like you can't say you're a good guy unless you actually kill. Because if you allow the people to live, they're gonna terrorize you even more. In
That's
fact, um
that's
that's sort of one of
actually
the catalysts for Mark's psychological development.
yeah. And his brothers.
Yeah, his brother is. Let's not talk about him. Yeah. Uh, you know, if you read the story, you're gonna know more about his brother. And the thing about, I guess the final point to end on is Invincible is a single comic book. It doesn't branch. I mean, it
It
does have some
does
side
like
branches,
Savage
but
Dragon,
no, I mean like Invincible and Atom Eve.
Tech Jacket.
Yeah, stuff like that. It does have like subsidiary comic books attached to it, but they
That
don't
do
impact the main story much
no
or at all. You can just read the pure line, and that's
true
it. Yeah. And
true.
that's another thing you can enjoy. It's just one long read, and they're all numbered accordingly. So yeah.
And there's some
Any
group
final
packages
thoughts?
too. I mean, I we've covered almost everything we wanted to talk about today, and I guess it's time to just say goodbye to everyone. good night, good night, good
Yeah.
morning, good afternoon, and have a good day. I guess. See
And
you
the
soon.
most important thing to remember is to subscribe so we can make more videos with the incentive of knowing that we're going to get liked.
Yeah, or hated.
Yeah, we don't really care. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
There's no such thing as good publicity either.
I
Wait,
mean, no, all
no, no.
publicity is good publicity.
Yup.